Alrighty, it is Saturday, but I have to go back to Friday really quick. So after I record audio, we ate dinner. We went to bed at 8 and I had a bit of a time falling asleep. We had agreed the night before to go for a jog, so Monica set the alarm to wake us up at 4. So we left sometime around like 4:11. We got home from our jog at like 4:58. Coming back, I found 2 bottles and a penny. And then I went back on the computer at 5 to unload my phone and to finish the pages. So I completed the artwork for pages 11 and 12 at 6:30. I would have gotten done sooner if I didn't decide to distract myself with Byron and LaBelle's new character designs. Monica came back to join me at 6:50. She went on after breakfast, and then I finished the pages at 7:17. I stopped to edit that weird dialogue on page 4. I actually like this new set of sentences. I don't know how well they read back though when you're reading it for the first time, so I might have to change it again when the volume goes up. We'll have to find out though. And then I loaded the consolidated pages to Tumblr at 7:58. I took a break at 8 a.m. I brainstormed and then I crashed. I woke up at 10 a.m. and Monica had just barely gotten off at the time, so I had to wait in order to go back on again. So I ended up deciding to work on the red drafts. I started with the character designs, and then I switched over to the extras. I didn't make it very far. I wanted to make it much farther, but like there was so much that I had to do with the second set of extras that it's a good thing I stopped, because I hadn't had a chance to really like remember everything that was going on in this volume. So yeah, up until like 11:13, I ended up doing that, and then I went back on. I worked on the audio, and I also wrote down all the things that were happening in every single chapter. Monica came to join me at 12, and then I finished one audio file, and then we stopped to eat lunch, and then Monica went to go throw out the trash. So I got tired and I got off at like 12:23. I was still not done with the audio. We rested, and then we decided to get up at like 1:21. We walked around for 30 minutes, then we went back on at 2. I finally finished the audio sometime around like 4:30. At that time, I was working on Shasta Marie and Flora's outfits, their colors, and like I was mostly stuck on Flora because I'm really trying hard to make Flora complement Fauna and Byron, which is probably a bad idea because I'm not successfully balancing her out, and I don't think that Flora is even going to be in a scene with Byron, so it makes me feel like maybe I shouldn't bother with this, because like the way that I have the story right now, Fauna spends a lot of more time with Flora separately than with Byron. I figure by the time that she gets with Byron to talk to him, it'll be like way after the fact. So I'm like, I'm not 100% sure what to do about the situation at the moment. So yeah, maybe I should just go ahead and make Flora's outfit red, because if she's not going to be near Byron, and Byron at the moment is wearing red, I might as well just make Flora red. So yeah, other than that, once I got done with the audio at 4:30, I ended up replying to that girl. I sent her a message yesterday about her artwork and how I felt like she could make stickers. And I kind of wonder, I don't know if I should try to draw out this conversation so that way it's long. I just want to talk to somebody. I don't know, I feel bad because like I don't want her to feel awkward, especially because like she's probably like severely younger than me. She's probably like even younger than my nephew, so like I don't even know if I should be talking to her. I don't know. I feel like people feel weird about having friends that are like much older than you, at least in America. In the meanwhile, so yeah, I got off at like 4:45. So this is what I need to do now. I need to compress the video. And I'm thinking that once it's compressing, I can probably go back to the extras, or I could just veg, because like I've been so focused on this audio, it's not even funny. I still have to do Agnes and Ivy's character designs. I feel like line arting everybody in what's it called, ballpoint pen is a bad idea because the liner is coming out like shit. So like, I don't even know. I just I shouldn't have bothered doing everything like that. Maybe I should have just done it in pencil, because like I still have some. Do I still have some of those Stateless Norika pencils? I could have just used those instead, because like, oh my god, everyone's coming out terrible with the ballpoint, and like it's not like properly splitting from the red very well, which is the thing that's really hurting me. So I don't know what to do about it. Is there anything else that's on my mind? No plans for Sunday aside from the fact that Pasha and Fauna's the character designs, their preview comes out on Sunday. So like, I do want to have like at least Marie and Shasta done by with Ivy, hopefully done by midweek or something, so I can cue them either if for the middle of this week or at the beginning of next week or something, because I have to see like, you know, how far I'm gonna get with it. It's also Agnes. I want to preview Agnes with Labella and Byron, but I need to get all their colors solidified first, so I know for a fact which colors are or which for who first. And then finally I will have Loris, but I haven't actually gotten Loris's design yet, so I'm so fucking screwed. Is there anything else that's on my mind? No, I guess that's virtually it. Alrighty then, that's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Sunday, but I have to go back to Saturday really quick. So after I recorded audio, I ended up compressing my video. Monica made chicken. The chicken was fine. It wasn't spoiled. And then we suddenly decided to go hit the plaza, get fast food and more fizzy water. This is our first time having fast food in actually a long while. So it was strange having it again. I had checked the buses to see which ones were coming home, and both buses, one bus was not going to come for half an hour, and the other bus wasn't going to come until 2 hours, so we ended up walking. So once we got home, it was like 7 something. We ate and then we went straight to bed. After my video was finished compressing, by that point it was like 8 o'clock. It was so hot, we slept without the blanket. I had trouble falling asleep. I woke up to the alarm at 4. So we left at 4:20 for our run. We got back at like 5 a.m. exactly. And then we went straight back to bed, but I couldn't go back to sleep. I went back on at 6:12 and I loaded my video. I also worked in the character colors. Monica came to join me sometime in between when I was working, and then she eventually got off, but like I was so busy coloring I didn't really notice. So yeah, I worked on Shasta and Flora. I already knew what Shasta's colors were going to be because his outfit is based off of clothing I've owned. And Flora, I kept Googling outfits that looked like the items that she was wearing, and I eventually got a perfect color scheme for her. I'm so surprised about how these two colors that she's wearing for some reason look good together. She's wearing like a vest that's like a greenish yellow. It's yellow, but it's on the greenish side. And then she's wearing pants that are more the mustard side. They're like more orange. And yet for some reason they look really good together. So like I actually really like how Flora looks like right now. I'm so happy with it. So yes. I ended up after that getting off at 9. I rested until 11:50. We made lunch, we ate, and then we walked around for 30 minutes. After that, we rested a smidge up until like 1:20, and then I went back on to work on the extras. I printed them out in blue, so I have to line art them either tonight or tomorrow. And then I worked on Ivy and Agnes's outfits. I'm starting to wonder if Ivy's outfit would look actually better on Loris. I mean, not the fact that she's wearing a dress and putting him in a dress. No, it's just that she's wearing her coat over her shoulders, like how that was for Warren's second outfit. He used to wear his coat over his shoulders. So I'm trying to figure out if I want her to be like that, or if I want to switch that to like somebody like Loris make him wear his coat over his shoulders. I have to figure it out. Other than that, I feel like I like it how it makes her look. She looks like she's more regal, like Warren did. So yeah. After I was done filling in Agnes in the colors that I wanted her to be in, she's wearing a dress that's very similar to the final dress that she wore at the end of the previous series. It's just straight blue, and like I made her dress the same color, and then I had to rework LaBelle's colors to try to figure out what would look best on him. And I ended up deciding on just making him like various shades of tan and green. And he looks like he's wearing something very similar to his default outfit from his video game. So a part of me feels like, yeah, I like it. A part of me feels like it doesn't feel any different than that previous outfit. So I'm a little mixed on it. So yeah, other than that, Monica ended up joining me for a smidge, and then she got off like a while later. I just assumed that she got off at 3:50. I'm not really sure about how long she's been away. So yeah, I got off at 4:20, but not until I replied to that girl, because I'm still talking to her. I feel really bad that I'm just like still talking to her, because like I feel like I'm holding her captive. Every time I reply to her, I end up realizing that I tend to reply sometime around the same time, but like she always replies like immediately, which makes me feel so bad. If she's even interested, she has to wait until the end of the day just to get my response. I'm like, oh, I feel so horrible. Oh my god. I remember what it used to feel like to respond and instantly, and like nowadays I'm so busy working at the beginning of the day, and by the time I get to do something fun, it's like at the end of the day. And speaking of, 2 things I want to do today I didn't get to do was 1, work on the script, and 2, work on my fanfic. Because I'm trying to get back into writing that fanfic I was writing last vacation. I completely forgot about it. I don't think I'm gonna have the time, because I think Monica's gonna want to talk instead. So maybe tomorrow. Other than that, I feel like I only have 2 character designs left right now. I have Ivy and Marie. I don't know if I want to plunge all of tomorrow trying to do them. Marie's colored in, but I don't like the colors. I feel like something doesn't feel right about it. I just want to redo it. Other than that, I'll have to see how it goes. I want to do Loris, because I want to be able to cue Loris with LaBelle and Byron. And I also want to cue Agnes with Flora and Simon, but Simon hasn't been drawn yet, so I have to draw Simon and Loris. I have to decide something for them though, and then that would just leave me with Warren, and I got nothing for Warren right now. I figure I will eventually cue Warren with like Fuir, because like I know what Fuir's undersuit is gonna look like. I just don't know what Fuir's jacket is gonna look like if Fuir's gonna wear clothes. So yeah. Other than that, is there anything else? We're planning on going to Walmart. We're trying to decide if we want to go tonight or if we want to go tomorrow. She's afraid to go tonight to find nothing, but I'm afraid to go tomorrow and find nothing. I don't know. We're gonna have to find out though. Is there anything else that's on my mind? Not that I could think of. Nothing that's like of a super mega importance right now. Alright then, that's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Monday, but I have to go back to Sunday really quick. So after I recorded audio, Monica and I talked about possibly going to Walmart, but she ended up changing her mind because she was expecting it to be very crowded and she didn't want to have to deal with the crowds on the weekend, so we decided to hit Vons instead. So we went straight to Vons. We ended up getting ice cream. It's been a while since we last had ice cream. And then while we were trying to leave, we had just barely missed the bus. I hate it when she tries to rush to get the bus when it's like impossible to get it. It's like so annoying, because then we end up in a situation where we have to either walk or we have to wait like a long time for the next bus. I really wish she wouldn't do that. I would rather wait for the next one. Ugh. And just dawdle inside the store. It's just so much easier. So we got back at 5:17. We ate the ice cream, rested until 7:40
6, and then we decided to go out and get water bottle refills. So what made this a different trip than usual is that we actually didn't completely dress up for it. We were wandering around in our grubbies and our slippers, and we usually wear shoes when we go out, but like it was so hot, and we ended up taking our folding fans that we got from Daiso. We were just fanning ourselves all the way there, and it was so much fun. Got home at like 8:44, and then we went straight to bed. We had a super hard time trying to fall asleep. Monica was up until 2. I managed to only be up until like 11:45. I woke up the next morning at 5:45. And so I started to coordinate, all right, we have to leave for Walmart. It opens up at 7. I have to prepare my ship to leave. So I ended up going to the bedroom and kicking Monica out of bed at 5:55. And we were trying to catch the 6:48 bus. So I ended up bringing my clipboard with the extras papers on it, so I can like write out what I was going to do for the extras, because at that point I still didn't have anything. At this point I only have like half of what I need to do. I don't have enough of what I need to do. So yeah. Then I remembered I have extras that I need to line art already. So I was like, okay, I need to go back to the binder, my work binder, and I have to retrieve Fuyar's magic item picture because that's already ready. It's been ready since the last session. So back in June when I was doing volume 9, that's when I did Fuyar's picture. So all I have to do is just get something for Fauna, and then I'm done with the 2 of them. But like I ended up retrieving Fuyar. I brought him to the living room, and then I arranged my extras from easiest to hardest. And then Monica served us breakfast peaches at like 6:08. We left for Walmart, and we negotiated when we were going to leave, so we had a little extra time to browse around. We looked at the bicycles. They only had like 2 bicycles. We did have a bit of a hard time with the chicken because the brand chicken she likes to get, they only had 2 packages of it, so she had to get some off-brand chicken. Also, we're looking for the Pop-Tarts, and they didn't have the Simply Pop-Tarts. We ended up leaving sometime around 7 something. I didn't catch it. All I know is that we had to wait for the bus to come get us a block away, and we got home at like 8:30. Once we got home, we both went back to bed. I rested until 9:44, and then I went to work on the extras. I finished Fuyar's magic item at like 11:11. So he was completely in line already, completely assembled. Monica came to join me at 11:17. We stopped to watch Digimon and eat lunch. And the Digimon episode was about Mimi. It was actually kind of cute. I feel like even though it was blander than some episodes I used to have in the previous Digimon, I actually felt like it was decently cute and emotional. And then Precure was about trying to figure out the stupid fairy girl, and she's going to be living with Nodoka temporarily. I really feel like she should take turns visiting all the girls and like staying with them for a little bit and then switching homes, because like it doesn't make sense for her to stay at one girl's house for too long. I mean, in my opinion, it makes sense for her to stay at what was the girl's name? Chiyo? It makes sense for her to stay at that house because it's an inn. I don't know. I don't want to worry about this girl. She's not even real. Okay, so after that, I got off at 12:34. Monica worked on Fuyar, and I rested until 2:30. I did a lot of brainstorming, and I didn't do much sleeping. Then Monica got off, so we walked around for 30 minutes, and we decided to leave for the Euclid Target at 3:15. We browsed the store, we got food, and we got a new shirt for Monica, and then we successfully caught the bus, even though technically we should have missed it. The bus was being held back by traffic, and we were actually able to catch it. So we got home at 4:43. So this is what's happening. Monica's making hot dogs. I need to go and work on Fuyar a little bit. I do feel still tired, but I also have an extra I need to complete, and I want to get a jump on the next set of extras I know I need to do. So it's the character poll closing picture, and then the a addition to extension for the chapter where Fuira is leaving, Pasha tries to shoot him, and like it was supposed to be in the script, but it didn't fit, and I really wanted it to be in there. Oh my god. Ugh. Is there anything else that's on my mind? No, I guess that's virtually it. I just remembered I wanted to extend one of the extras so that way it's a bit longer, but I can't remember. Oh yeah, it was for the next volume. I keep thinking about the next volume. I keep thinking about all the things I want to do for it. I can't do it. I just can't. Is there anything else that's on my mind? No, I guess that's virtually it. Alrighty then. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one.
Alrighty, it is Tuesday, but I have to go back to Monday really quick. So after I recorded audio, we ended up eating dinner. We watched a bunch of videos, and I worked on my extras. I scanned and passed Fauna's magic card companion picture off to Monica, and then I had to redo the second extra for chapter 91 because I hated it. And then after a while, we got tired. We got off, and we talked about spontaneously visiting the bank. Specifically, we decided to walk there in our grubbies like we did to the water machine last night or the other night. So we went. I picked up a bunch of bottles. I also picked up some change. I found a quarter at the parking lot of a gas station, and I think that was pretty much it. By the time we got home, it was like 8 o'clock, and the first thing we did was go straight to sleep. She said she had a hard time going to sleep. I don't even know how fast I fell asleep. All I know is that by the time I woke up, it was between like 5 and 6. So the day before, we had made plans to go to Barnes and Noble today, but she ended up telling me that she didn't get enough sleep last night, so she decided to cancel our plans. But she waited on telling me. The first thing that happened is that we ate breakfast. I resumed work on line arting the second extra for chapter 91, and then she was coloring in what I gave her the day before. When she finished it, that's when she decided to go back to sleep, and she canceled our plans. So I ended up spending the rest of the time working on the poll, the character poll, making an image to say that the poll is closing. So I reused all of the characters' character page pictures of themselves for the poll closing, except for Pasha, because Pasha doesn't have a character page. He specifically doesn't have it because he was made originally for the story. Same thing for Agnes. They won't be there because they were originally made for the story. They didn't exist prior to it. So yeah, I ended up having to resurrect a old file of Pasha that I had made like a year or so before. I don't remember when I made this picture, but I finally finished coloring it in. I used that as his picture. So I got off at 9:30. I got caught up with my journals and planner pages, and I decided, okay, I need to figure out how to squeak the scripts in here, and I'm thinking about making it the first thing I do in the morning, and then doing something else later in the day. So for example, I keep doing my my artwork in the morning. I really should be doing the scripts in the morning. So like, I'm gonna set a specific day, even if I have to put a little bit of time into it every day. I just really need to get through the script for chapter 114 this week. I really want it done this week. So yeah. So I reread that fanfic that I said I was going to continue working on this month. I had to reread the last 2 chapters because I couldn't remember everything that happened. Because like the day before in the storyline, the character had his I want to say technically it's a third preliminary, but like they're just barely going through all the different groups that they're erasing, and like I had to go through his 3 rounds that he had to do in that day, and like some drama happened in between. I had to remember, oh yeah, this problem got resolved at this moment, and like I made so little of it, and I think I should make a bigger deal out of it. Ugh. So yeah.
In the meanwhile, also his girlfriend has stuff that's going on. I have to switch to her eventually, but I have to set him up so that way I could switch over to her POV. But like, I only have one chapter, and I have to finish this chapter first. But I only have like 2 pages left of this chapter, and I'm not really sure if I like what the last thing I wrote at the end of this last page. I might have to go back and fix it. So yeah. Okay, so Monica woke up sometime around 11:20. I asked her if she wanted to take a shower, so we did that. It was like 11:30 by that point, and then when I got out, I ended up doing some brainstorming. We ate lunch, and she went back to bed, and I went back to work on the computer. I ended up printing out a few of the drafts that I was sketching earlier, and then I ended up completing the artwork for Square's magic item. So it's done. I like it, but at the same time, I also feel like the colors weren't the colors I was expecting to use. So yeah, she ended up coming to join me sometime around 2. I didn't see if it was like 2:20 or 2:30. So she went to go color the last thing I finished, which is the second extra for chapter 91. I started coloring in the companion piece for Fauna's magic item picture. And I got tired halfway through, and I decided to stop. So it's 3 now. This is what I need to do. I do have some things I can work on. I'm trying to decide if I want to go straight back to working on the 4-panel comics, or if I want to go and try to fix the thing in the fanfic. I'm trying to figure out which of the things I want to do is the easiest thing to do, because like I have a lot of comics, and I'm not even sure about the last so many chapters of this set of extras. I'm trying to decide if there's any other questions I can possibly answer for the Ask Amymone for this volume. Because like, one question would be like, for example, why isn't there a character page for Pasha and Agnes? For example, I want to get that out of the way. I'm trying to also decide like what other questions I might have forgotten or are relevant now. I don't know. I just because like we're in volume 10. I have to think about it. Is there anything else that's on my mind? I'm trying to think. No, I got nothing. I'm gonna try to do whatever I can do that I can do. I'm mostly just tired though. Maybe I should just rest instead. Is there anything else that's on my mind? No, I guess that's virtually it. Alrighty then. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Wednesday, but I have to go back to Tuesday, so I wrote some more of my fanfic. We ate dinner and then we rested until 5:30, I believe. Walked around for 3 minutes, and then we ate salad, and then we went back to bed. I decided to go back on at like 7:27 because I just didn't feel sleepy and I wanted to work for a little while. I tried to reply to that girl I was talking to on Tapas, and like I just couldn't think of anything else to say, especially because she commented on the comic, and I just felt like that to me felt like it just killed the rest of my momentum. I don't really want to talk about my comic, and I don't need any sort of like ass pat about it, because I regret it so much that it just feels like, okay, whatever. So yeah. So after that, I ended up finishing the companion art for Fauna's extra, and then I got off at like 8:33. The only thing I need to do with it is put text on it. I don't feel like putting text on it right now. I went back to bed. Surprisingly, the blanket was actually on the bed for the last like 2 to 3 days. We haven't been using the blanket because it's been so fucking hot. It is getting cooler though, but like it's just taking a while. So yeah. So we got out of bed at 6:30 the next day. We ate breakfast and we got caught up with all these videos, and I ended up coloring through a little bit the second extra for chapter 91. I stopped at 8 so we can prepare to leave for Barnes and Noble. One of the things I ended up watching was these girls unboxing the I believe the company is iOS, but Dolk sells them. And it's Mikazuki. Apparently they said they were going to do Super Mario, which makes me feel like, okay, wait, was that ever announced? And I never saw that, and nobody was talking about it. When they said they were going to do Mikazuki, that spread like wildfire. Everybody was talking about the fact that he was going to be made, but like I've never saw an announcement for Surumaru. And like this video came out like a week ago, so I'm like, I don't really know anything about it. I have to find something about it to know for a fact if it's real. Other than that, I don't know if they were being hypothetical or if they actually saw a announcement for him. Well, you know how much I hate Surumaru. So got ready. We caught the bus leaving at like I think it was like sometime around 8:30. And then we had to wait at State College for the bus. And then from State College, we took the 57 to Catella. And when we checked the time for the Catella bus, it was not coming for a half an hour. So we're like, let's just walk to the Arctic. So if you need me to remind you, Arctic is an acronym. It means like I think it's like Anaheim Regional Transportation something or other. I can't spell it out. It's some transportation something center. And like we walked all the way to the Arctic, and Monica said she needed to use the restroom, but we noticed that the 53, which is the bus that goes to the main place, was leaving. So we ended up taking the bus instead of going to the bathroom. Even though I told her that we had like 13 minutes, she could have used the restroom. So we ended up landing at main place. We checked main place mall briefly. Certain places are open. Any stores that have exterior doors, nothing that's actually inside the actual mall, all the exterior stores are still open. This includes the anchor stores. This includes all the restaurants that you could just walk straight into the building. Other than that, they're closed. So there's no way for me to get in there and buy anything from that Japanese store. I was hoping to get more lead. So we ended up walking to Barnes and Noble. I asked her if she wanted to wander around Ross until Barnes and Noble was open, and she's like, no, I have to pay. So she was waiting. She was willing to stand there and wait for them to open up so she can go pay. So while she was paying, we got a call from Tiffy. I didn't get it fast enough, so she left us a voicemail. So we're gonna have to contact her a bit later. And then we wandered around the place. I didn't realize that they were selling Rosa Versailles. It was this manga, really old manga about a girl who was dressed up as a man, and I really wanted to read that series, but oh my god, they're already selling a third volume of it, and each volume of the omnibus is like fucking $40. I'm like, oh fuck, I can't get this. So there was a couple of books I wanted to read. One of them was Place at the Table. I think it's a new book. They got rid of all the places to sit in Barnes and Noble. They're all gone now. I have no idea where they are. But yeah, I saw a lot of stuff I wanted to get, but we mostly just like left everything behind. We did end up checking out Ross for a little bit, and then Monica wanted to hit Subway. So we hit Subway. We got lunch, and we managed to take the bus back home. But we had two choices of bus. We can get back on the 53 and go back to the Arctic, or we could take the 83 and that bus goes straight to Disneyland. So Monica was all like, hey, let's just take, if you follow me on Twitter, you know what happened, because I ended up tweeting about this. So Monica's like, let's take the 83. It goes to Disneyland. Most likely it's going to skip the Arctic and go straight down Catella. And that's not what happened. First thing it did was it went straight and it turned at the hospital, because there's a children's hospital right there in that area. And Monica got nervous because it went the wrong direction and she wasn't sure if we should get off. And I was just like, well, we're here. I'm going to stay on this bus because it says it's going to Disneyland. So then it ended up leaving the hospital area and going straight to the freeway, which I didn't realize there was a ramp to the freeway on the other side of the hospital. And like, it took the freeway all the way back to Catella, and it really surprised us because like it was just cutting through all these locations on this one street called like Anaheim Way, and like it's like a shortcut to Disneyland basically, and like it was just dropping people off on the way there until finally it had said the next stop is Catella and Anaheim. So I was like, actually Anaheim Boulevard, which is one of the streets that's near where we live. So I was like, let's just get off here. So we got off at Catella and Anaheim, but the sign said Hastur. So I was telling Monica, Hastur must be what Anaheim is called before it turns into Anaheim by the time it gets to where we live in the Colonial Anaheim area. So she was nervous until I pointed out to her the bus that was coming was a 47, which is that bus that goes down Anaheim Street. So we ended up taking the bus, and I told her, okay, the next 42, which is the bus we have to take home on Lincoln, is coming in a few minutes. And it showed up right when we were getting off of the 47. So I was like, okay, it's going to get caught in traffic because of the traffic change. So we need to run to the next bus stop because we just missed the one over here by the main street. So we ended up running all the way down to the ballet center, because there's a stop right there in the ballet center. It's a little park there and a apartment complex in the ballet center. And we ended up running all the way there, and we caught the bus and got home. So we got home sometime around like 12. We ate lunch. And then I ended up going back on at like 12:20. I scanned and printed out any extras I was doing. And then I colored in the character designs up until I ran out of things to watch, because I had a queue of things that I was supposed to catch up with. So I ended up queuing Marie, Ivy, and Shasta's new outfits to the Patreon. So the patrons are going to see that later. And then I tried to find clothes for Warren and Laura's, but I ended up getting tired at like 2:45. Okay, here's the problem. I have to go back on in an hour. I think it depends on how long Monica wants to stay on, but by 4 o'clock, the tenant meeting is going to be on Zoom. So we need to remember to watch that. I have a sinking feeling we're going to forget about it. So yeah, is there anything else that's on my mind? I guess that's virtually it. I have some beans that are waiting for me. They were like overcooked, so I was waiting for them to cool down, so I have to eat those. Other than that, I had fun at Barnes & Noble. I wish we could have brought some books home. It makes me so sad that we can't. I really wish I could read some of those books, but like, you know, I don't know how fast I can expect them to end up in a library. Better yet, I don't even know when we're ever going to see a fucking library ever again. Because, like, all the libraries have been closed since COVID. And, like, man, like, how long? How fucking long? I just want to go back to the library. Oh, my God. Is there anything else that's on my mind? No, I guess that's virtually it. Alrighty, then. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one.
Alrighty, it is Thursday, but I have to go back to Wednesday really quick. So after I recorded audio, Monica just barely turned off her computer, so I had to go and remind her that we had the tenant meeting at 4. So I ended up setting a timer to remind us to get back on the computer 40 minutes later. And in the process of setting up to get the meeting, I ended up having to be forced to download Zoom. So now I have that, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to use it for besides the tenant meetings. But after the tenant meeting, I'm not even sure if I'm going to use it for that, because it was mostly just like inconsequential announcements. I'm so annoyed that, like, because we signed the contract to live here, we have to participate in those, but you can clearly tell nobody else was participating in it. I mean, oh, for the love of God. Like, it was 11 people in the chat, and like the majority of the people in the chat were the announcers announcing all the different news items, whatever, and like there was barely like a few people who were actually in there, actually cared about what we were doing. I'm just like, it was all the same people I see at all the other events, etc. I just felt like so I'm like thinking we might as well just skip the next month. I don't see doing this every month. It doesn't make sense too. Oh my God. Okay, so during the meeting I ended up completely drawing through the illustration for the character poll closing picture thing, and then I started layering through Fouillard's companion picture for his magic item. But I didn't get to finish it. We ended up getting off at 4:40. We ate salad for dinner and we went to bed. I completely forgot to proofread through chapter 87. I had to wake up like at like 4:50 and get out of bed to go check on it. So it's fine. It loaded just fine. The problem is that I noticed later when I was on my phone that it was showing the wrong preview for the wrong next chapter. It was supposed to be showing the preview for chapter 88. It was showing the preview for chapter 90. So like I ended up checking Tapas again like hours later, and I realized that it's like that on the website too. So I figure it's just Tapas is having that problem. So I deleted chapters 89 and 88. I don't know if they're ever going to fix that problem that they're having, but like I just had to do it
temporarily for now. I was fine with it because it's just 2 chapters. I'm not going to forget to load them. I left myself various notes telling me to go and reload them. I'm probably going to be thinking about this from now on. Oh my god. So yeah, I ended up passing the poll illustration line art to Monica at like 6:23. So she started working on that, and I started finishing the art for the second extra for chapter 91. I finished it sometime around like 9 a.m. and Monica finished the poll image by that point. So she passed it off to me. She went back to bed at 9:30, and then I worked on the script for chapter 114 until 10. So what I got done with chapter 114 is that I managed to segue at the beginning to where I last left off in the conversation, where I was forced to cut the conversation short because I didn't get a chance to fit it into the last chapter. I don't know if I have enough space to make my point still, but I'm hoping I can. I just need to focus on where I last left off. So I'm trying to discuss the destruction of Fouillard and Philippe's relationship, but like I have to do it so that way it segues into the next text box, because at the moment it doesn't. So yeah. Okay, so I got off, we rested, and we talked for a bit, and then Monica ended up working on the chicken later, so she ended up making chicken, and I ended up going back on 11:30. I ended up playing some videos for her to listen to. I colored in the poll picture, and I managed to get that done by the time that we were done eating. I got off at 1, and when we walked around for 30 minutes. We rested until like 2:50. And so we tried to go and eat some of the black beans, but it seems like they've spoiled because they're making a really funky smell. So yeah, that's not happening. So this is what we need to do now. We have agreed to go get water from Albertsons. We are thinking about giving up refilling the water bottles. The only reason why we were refilling the water bottles was because they went out of stock during the beginning of the crisis, but now we are having a coin shortage, which makes us feel like it's just better to stop spending coins on the water when we can be spending the coins specifically just on the laundry. So I'm saving the last $3 or so on the laundry. That means that I have all these nickels and dimes I could use for something else now. Technically, we could still use the dimes to get water. Well, we need is 3 dimes to get water, but like, I'm thinking maybe it's just best to throw all the dimes and all the nickels at like a purchase at like Target or Walmart or something. I mean, well, obviously not the Walmart and in the Anaheim Plaza, they don't allow you to use money anymore. So, I mean, on the automated services. So, I'm thinking about like buying something. I can't think of what to buy at the moment. It upsets me that Albertsons doesn't have an automated service anymore. I wish they had just left it there, but they got rid of it because people didn't know how to use it. They had just left it there. We could just use it. Oh, it makes me so angry. So, is there anything else that's on my mind besides going to Albertsons? We're thinking about going sometime between like 6 and 7. It is almost 3. I guess I should go back on and finish whatever I was doing. I'm not sure what I want to work on at this moment. I'm thinking like either... I know I need to set up another line art for Monica because I do have one more line I have to edit. But other than that, all I have to do is just add text to what's already done, and I can mark it as done. So I think I should probably do that since I have 2 extras that, like I said, all I need to do is add text to them. And then I will have the stuff for Fouillard's magic picture done if I just put text on that, but I also have to do the icon for it too. So I'm like, a part of me doesn't want to finish that right away, but a part of me wants to get it out of the way. I have to decide. Also, I have to do character designs for Simon and Loris, and then I also have to do the magic item picture for Fauna, and that's everything I know I need to do. And then there's everything that I haven't planned on yet, which is the actual extras from chapter 92 to chapter 99. So I'm like really like being lazy and holding up on that shit. More like chapter 98 now I think about it, because 99 is Fouillard's magic item. There's so much to do, and yet I just don't feel like it right now. I just feel lazy, and I just want to be lazy right now. Is there anything else that's on my mind? This is the last audio recording for this week, so I have to edit audio. So whatever I choose to do, I need to do something at the same time that I can't get too distracted doing, because when I color, I either get distracted doing the coloring, or I get distracted listening to something on the YouTube, or I get distracted just doing the editing. So I have to figure out how to balance it. I think I should probably work on the character designs, because I was going somewhere with some sketches for some outfits, but I really need to I need to really figure something out, because I just can't think of anything for Loris to wear. I'm so stuck, because the last outfit he had was the best thing he ever wore, and I got nothing. Is there anything else that's on my mind? No, that's virtually it. Alrighty then, that's all for today. I will see you in the next one.